The snow has finally cleared, and it's undeniably springtime on our farm here in FS22. Now in March, we are running our line of strawberry jam-based moonshine at the distillery, and that demands our productions be filled with the supplies they need going into spring. Also, with the snow finally gone, we can get to the fields, and there's a lot to do out there to harvest our grass and plant new crops here at Shady Country Distillery. You can find a link to this series in the description or in the comments below, and of course, check out the channel page for other farming series you might like. Well, the snow is gone, and it is March. It is truly just about, well, it's spring here. It is spring here. There was a lot of snow all through February. During our winter episode, you didn't see snow until the very end, but, well, towards the end of winter, the snow really piled up. We had a couple inches here in the farmyard. And getting to the still out in the forest, that became a challenge because, well, I'll put it this way: the still is located pretty well in the forest because when there's no visible path out there, you can't find it. So I had to plow a path out to it. So that was all during the winter. But here we are in March anyway, and everything's running well. We have our strawberry jam being produced, and we've been making that as you saw last episode. We just started this because we had used the last of our apples for our apple moonshine. We are now making strawberry moonshine until it's apple season again. We have strawberry jam moonshine being produced at the still, and I'll tell you, it is very popular. It's selling well. It's very popular. And so, in today's episode, it's March, it's spring, and we are working on, supplementing our strawberry jam moonshine line. So what we're doing right now, we got some strawberries here. I've just been carrying them over one at a time. We got some strawberries from our greenhouses. Just carried these over to our jam production here. So we got, as of right now, you can see we got two little trays there of jars of jam. We will be running those up to the still today, and we've got some. We got to go up there we're gonna take some sugar up there. Our production seems to be going a lot faster now. The jam, doing it, making the moonshine with the jam is a lot more production intensive because we're using the greenhouses to grow strawberries. We're using the jam production here to make the jam, and then then we run that up to the still to make the moonshine. There's more steps in the production, and it's using some of the resources more intensively, but we're producing more. You follow. So we've got to restock some of the stuff in the greenhouses this month. We've got to restock some stuff at the still, as well as down here. And we've got fields to work on, too, because now it is spring. So our fields, we can see our fields now. The snow is off of them, and there's field work to be done. So the question is, what all do we want to start doing today? I think the first thing we can do is I want to get some sugar delivered to the still. We'll sell some moonshine while we're up there, bring some of the sugar down here. We also need to there's a lot more we need to supply our production points with. Let's just go ahead and park the tractor here. There's more we need to supply our production points with as well because we need wooden boxes. Like these handy-dandy wooden boxes the jam comes in. Yeah, we have to supply our production points with these. So we need to go to the store at some point. Maybe when we're selling the moonshine, we'll be down near the store and we can load the truck up with some wooden boxes because we got to stock those in both greenhouses as well as here. So maybe I can make this an efficient trip on the way back. Let's see. So what we're going to do is we're going to run these up there, and we're going to take our trailer. Yeah, that's kind of on the side of the truck, isn't it? Let's push this down in there a little bit. We're going to want to grab our flatbed trailer. We're going to purchase 3 pallets of sugar, which, they're pretty pricey. They're not cheap, but if you see our money up there, now our money so far is really only from production. Yeah, it's really only from production. We're producing moonshine from our distillery pretty good, so the expense from those sugar pallets is really not bad at all. But we're going to be buying 3 pallets of sugar. We're going to take 2 of those up to the still. One's going to come down here because the jam production down here is literally empty on the sugar, and the still up in the forest is running pretty low. So we're going to take 3 pallets of sugar up there. All right, here we are at the store. Let's just swing this in about, right here. Should be easy to load. And we're going to want to we'll get the wooden boxes when we come back through. We want to buy sugar, lots of sugar. We're going to buy 3 pallets. Yeah, so that was about, $12,000? That's about $12,000. Yeah, but that's going to make a lot of product for us to sell. Alright, so I'm going to get this loaded onto the trailer here. We'll be running 2 up to the still, and then we'll bring 1 back to the farm with us. And you know, I just thought of something as I'm loading these up. I don't have a way to unload these up at the still. Now, that is a something I'm going to think about that while I'm loading these. Yeah, just know that I did consider that. I don't know how we're unloading these up there. I'll think about that on the way up there. I may have to bring our tractor from the farm up there. All right, I think I have a solution for that. Here's what we're going to do. We're going to fire the truck up. We are going to put one crate of sugar, 1 pallet of sugar in the back of the truck. What we'll do is when we get to the still, we're going to back the trailer up to the still. I'm going to push these on there better. Don't worry about that. We're going to back the trailer up to the still, and it will unload the sugar off. You know, if it's close enough to the still will take the sugar it needs. But we'll keep the truck at a distance so that it won't take from the truck. So the pallet in the truck will stay, and we'll bring that back for our jam production back here. That seems like as good a plan as any. All right, so let's get these seated a little better on our trailer here. Kind of center them on here a little bit. And then we'll work on getting this. We're going to get this up north. And yeah, I'll just... Whoops, I didn't mean to do that. Whoa, I almost hooked it back off. There we go. Whoop, that's a little... it's fine where it's at. Let's get this up there, and we'll just be careful about how close we drive the truck and everything to the still. And that way it won't load up the sugar into it that we don't want it to. Yeah, in the winter, the road here stopped, and this was just pure white. And you know, we got a little road back here through the woods to our still, but without this road, let me tell you, you cannot see where the still is at. First trip out here, yeah, it was a very slow trip with a front loader to shovel a path back here to find this place, because you wouldn't think so. Looking at it, but this place is actually really hard to see through the woods. So I guess it's a good location for a moonshine still. All right, now let's see if I can get this trailer backed up. Oh yeah, let's back this up to the, and it should take off the pallets there. We'll take off both. Let's find out. Just barely. All right, well that worked. Excellent. Okay, and it didn't take any off the one in the truck. Well, hey, that's exactly what we wanted to happen. All right, so we got some jam in here. You know what? Let me undo these straps. Let's see. There we go. Undo the straps. All right, so we got 1 case of moonshine here ready to take. Let's see, and this is producing, yeah, we got about half another case in there. But yeah, we'll go ahead and take this with us to the sell point. We'll just put it in the truck. Usually I take it in our little bootlegging car there, which I think is cool. But there's a lot to do because there's also field work to do, all kinds of things to get back to at the farm. So we're just going to take this with us, toss this in the back of the truck, and hit the moonshine sell point. And don't forget to unblock the trailer. Sorry. If you ever load something in the back of a truck, if you ever see me do that, whenever you load something in the back of the truck, you have to walk away from it and then back toward it, or else you can't get in it. I don't know what that's about, but it was the same thing in FS19 as well. All right, unblock my trailer, and we're good to go. Now, let's put those tie-down straps back down. Yeah, we are all set here. So let's hit to the sell point, and then it's right across the street from the store pretty much. So we're going to hit the store up, and we're going to get a good amount of wooden boxes that we need just to hold the strawberries and the jam, because we're out pretty much. Now, the guy that sells this for us, actually, we already passed his house. I'm coming down here so I can turn around. Oh, you know, I haven't been this far down the road, I don't think. I haven't been down here. We're just going down here to turn around because I don't want to bother trying to turn around in his driveway. That ain't going to happen, so we're just going to pull over on the street and carry this into him there. Yeah, I'm not even sure what that is down there. That there is all kinds of stuff. A grain elevator, Grain mill. Well, it's good to know where this stuff is. Trading base 2, trading base 1 and 2, and oil extraction plant. Interesting. Well, that's good to know what kind of stuff is down there. All right, we are going right here. I'll just put our... Oh, this truck doesn't have... Of course it doesn't. It doesn't have beacon lights, so I'll just put on my turn signal. And we'll grab this out of the truck real quick. Oh, this thing's heavy. Come on, take this off my hands. There we go. Close to about $1,200. It's usually about $1,200. And this nice lady, apparently we were in her way, so let's try to get out of the way here. All right, let's get over to the store, and we've got a lot of boxes to pick up. So we need to buy wooden boxes, and yeah, we need to buy that many. Did I buy... Wait, I meant to buy 30. Oh, did it put the other ones over here? Yeah, so we got 30 boxes. I figure 10 for each greenhouse and 10 for the jam production, which is what we did the last time we bought them, if you'll recall. And that lasted like a couple of months. So I'm going to get these loaded. Don't worry, I'm not going to make you sit through all of that because it's quite tedious. I'm going to get all these loaded. Now I'm going to have to unload all these one by one as well, because if I drive this trailer anywhere in the vicinity of that jam production, it will suck all of these right off the trailer. As we found out the last time we did this, one of the greenhouses or the jam production, one of them just sucked them right off the trailer. So I'll be parking the trailer kind of on the edge of the farmyard, and I'll have to run in there. So I'm going to get these loaded up in here. I wish there was a way to do this in bulk or something. Like, I don't know. And there may be that I don't know about, but as far as I know, on this map, this is how it works. Let's make sure none fell out on the other side. No, they're all in there. Straps will take care of holding down the ones that are on the outside. It should be fine. Whoops, I popped that one off. This should hold them all down. I'm going to repop the straps in the truck to make sure. All right, they should be good. So let's get all this back to... Oh, is that... Yeah, that is... Wow, how'd this one get way over here? I don't know, but let's toss this in the back here. That might have even been from the from an earlier purchase of them, because the truck wasn't even parked over there. That might have been from the first time I purchased them. Fell out and I didn't notice it. Who knows? All right, so we are back at the farm, and here's what we're going to do. Everything in the truck can go to the jam production, because the truck has 10 boxes and the sugar in it. And these things are what are going to the jam production, so we can freely let this take everything out of the truck here for us. There we go. Now, the Distill is producing... We're actually getting more moonshine. The... how do I say this? Basically, like... The production is kind of the same, but we're getting more. We're kind of like basically getting like more moonshine per mile, basically out of the strawberry jam, than we were out of the apples. I'm trying to figure out what the best way to do this without. Here, let's just pull this up here. Hopefully, it won't take any off the back. Okay, I don't think it really did. Yeah, I don't know what I was trying to say there. Well, I do, but it's. Oh, it's not straight enough. Let me straighten it out. There we go. Yeah, basically, we're producing a little more moonshine than we were. Even though the basic recipe is the same, it just takes basically, you know, less strawberries for the same effect than it did apples. So, overall, kind of net, more productive. Okay, so I'm gonna pile 10 of these, 10 each of these into the greenhouses here, and then we'll see what, we'll get some field work done. Got some grass to mow and a field that we can plant. And yeah, so actual farm stuff. We got actual farm stuff to do, of course. Now, I think that this next one here, I think this will be the last one in here. So we actually only had to unload one batch of these by hand, because we were able to drive the truck up to the jam production And there should be 10 left in here, and we can just drive this up to the other greenhouse. Let's see, there's... Actually, I see 11 in here. Nope, there's 10. Never mind. All right, we're good. So what we'll do is... I think I can just pull this up close enough to the other greenhouse. So we only had to unload 10, actually, by hand. That's good, because that's... it's very tedious. There we go. All right, so that's all very basically stocked. Now let's have a look here and just kind of see where we're at on all these things. So the compost is missing materials. The compost is out of grass and hay. That's something we need to work on. And because we need the composter, of course, that makes the compost to fertilize the greenhouses. Now the greenhouses, so what are we looking at here? We've got water, we've got boxes now, we've got compost, great. And the other one, these are both good, so they're producing strawberries. That's excellent. Water, I did have to refuel that over the winter. It is refueled, and it is putting water out at a fast rate. Yeah, but we use it fast, too, is the thing. It actually ran out. We had, I don't know, like 60,000 liters of water in there, and I used all of that. I had to, during the winter, I had to refuel it, and everything ran out of water. Actually had to. I was surprised how fast we went through that, but we did. Moonshine production, we are good on the sugar... Yeast for now, because the yeast is used from jam, and it's good for now. Yeah, we're good on everything for the moment. Jam production. Yeah, we're good on everything that we need, and here we are good as well. But apples are just out of season right now, so that's not until July. All right, so everything there is good to go. So field work, it looks like our entire grass field is ready to mow. We're going to have a look at that. Let's just park this right here. Let's get up there with the tractor. So we've got a portion of our field is planted with rye, which I think I thought it was a good candidate crop to be made into alcohol. I mean, of course, we can make alcohol out of literally anything with sugar content, which means basically, yeah, any plant or animal. I've even heard of vodka being made from milk. So, I mean, you can make alcohol out of anything with any kind of sugar content in it. But I want to choose crops that seem appropriate, right? So rye is a pretty obvious one, and I figured over there we could plant corn. Again, an obvious go-to for alcohol. Although, of course, again, alcohol is made of everything. I've heard of grape vodka. Of course, one of the most famous vodkas is made of wheat. But anyway, we're going to go with rye and corn, I suppose. This right here that we're driving over, of course, this is grass, and it says it's ready to harvest. It kind of looks like it's still growing, doesn't it? But it says ready to harvest, and so this is great. Having this grass to harvest here will save us from having this embarrassing strip through our lawn where we had to harvest it last time to feed the composter. So all of this out here, this green grass is to feed the composter. It says that's ready to go. Our rye down here is not, of course. It's going to need a few more months. Yeah, I mean, it should be like probably, I don't know, July or August, something like that. Our rye will be good. A few more months on that. Down here, I figure down here, yeah, so corn is my guess. Plant corn in this section here, and that leaves us another section down here to play with. And, of course, I'm open to suggestions for the field. But it was a great move, breaking this, this large, almost 6-hectare field up as we have. Now here, I'd like to get these rocks up. The field's all ready to go, and it's 50%. It's got, basically, it's got its first stage of fertilization on it, right? So it's ready to go for planting. I'm going to get out here. Let's do work on removing some of these rocks. You know what we can do? I was just thinking, I was just shuffling some attachments around. We can get creative with this. We can pick up rocks and plant at the same time. However, I only just now thought, as I said that we're not going to be able to plant corn with our current equipment. Yeah, our current planter or seeder will only seed these things here. So, I mean, corn's not necessary. It's just kind of what I envisioned. And, well, I was just thinking, boy, it's like it's close to the same working width as this rock picker. So we could really... Maybe we should change up, let's have a look at the crop calendar. I just liked the efficiency of that so much. Planting while picking up rocks literally saves us like so much time doing two things at once. If you wait till next month, we could plant sorghum. No real point in that, because then in that case we may as well just pick up the rocks now and then plant that. We can look into getting a planter, a corn planter. I think the best thing to do for now, let's park. I'm going to park this back here. This is yeah, it's something that just occurred to me when I was like, hey, let's let's do these both at the same time. And then it's like, wait a second, we can't even plant corn right now, not without a corn planter. So we'll park this back here, and let's go ahead. Let's get the mower attached, because grass is something we need. If you notice, our composter is completely out of grass, and we're going to want some grass to turn into hay as well. The last time we filled the composter, we just mowed this section of grass here in the lawn, of course, and actually bought the hay because we needed to fill the composter right then. This here, we've got enough grass harvest here that we'll be able to use basically half of this as grass and half of this as hay, I think. And let's see, let's come from this way and try to cut this somewhat neatly along the edge of our farmyard here. And I'll kind of do a little thought process, because I wanted to plant corn. Kind of had my mind set on that for, a particular kind of moonshine I wanted to make. So that's going to mean we're going to have to get a different kind of planter. So I'll process that while we do some mowing here. And I don't want to get too close to the rye, so we'll just mow along this line right here. We don't want to, mess up our rye crop. It looks really cool having two fields just kind of run into each other, but of course, it looks cool, but it does make it a little less practical. But well, hey, again, it does look cool, and that in the end is all that matters. Just ask any farmer. Looks are all that matters. I'm just kidding, of course. So let's get this mowed, and but no, seriously, looks is all that matters. Yeah, let's get this mowed here. Now we are going to have to buy some tools for for hay. Particularly, well, just one really, I guess. We're just going to have to buy a tedder. Yeah, because we've got everything else we need. We'll have to buy a tedder. No big deal, no big cost there. We can have a look at planters. I would like to plant the corn. We've got money, and we've got good income too. A little more income than we had, a little more income overall with the jam moonshine, and that's just because the profit overall is more, but I've really yet to tell if it's still more net profit, if you follow my thinking, because the thing is, the strawberries, per strawberry, we get more moonshine in the end per strawberry than per apple. However, the strawberries, we also have to put in sugar, and sugar is expensive. But so to get the jam, we have to put in sugar. So, only time will tell if overall we net more money. But more production means we're running more runs and stuff faster, and that's good. I like to see that. Complicated stuff that I haven't exactly figured out yet. This is going to give us a lot of grass. I mean, obviously, but I'm just thinking that the last time we mowed, it was in, what was that? It was in November, I think, when we mowed that section of the lawn there. And see, that's just that one little strip across the lawn, and that made, well, that more than filled the composter. Yeah, that's true. The composter doesn't have much capacity at all. So this job right here that we're doing, this is going to fill our composter for all year, probably all year off this one mowing here, because it only holds less than one bale's worth of grass and straw, if I remember correctly. Or sorry, grass and hay. It takes straw as well, but it's good on straw. We might need a bigger composter. I'll have to see, running the production here long term. We will have to, I'll see through output over, the coming months and this year, where the bottlenecks in our production are. Maybe we'll need, another composter, or maybe the output, demands that we have a second still or something. I'll have to see where it balances out and where the bottlenecks are and where we can increase productivity for the farm, of course. We'll see. The mowing goes fast, but this is taking a lot longer than I thought it would. I guess it's just a big section of field. And I think this is an appropriate section of field. I think the section of field is fine. You know, like I said, this is gonna this will probably be enough grass and hay for this year. But wow, no, it's taking a lot of time. We'll surely get to something else today, and this is something I'll probably finish up a little bit later on my own time. After this, once we get this grass cut, we'll go and check. Well, we'll pick up a tedder, because half of this will turn into hay. So we'll go to the store, pick up a tedder, and I guess we'll have a look at a planter, because I do want to plant corn. I guess we'll just have to buy a planter. It's not something I just didn't think about that. So with the grass mowed, we are here at the store. Let's have a look to see what they have for tedders, because we're definitely buying a tedder, and I'd like to have a look at planters as well for planting corn. I think we need to give this thing a little bit of a wash when we get back. Yeah, it's all caked in grass now. So looking here at the hay equipment, what do we have choices for? Oh, well, okay, we're pretty much locked into the default options. So 4.5 meters. Yeah, I'm inclined for the, I'm kind of a cheapskate. I'm inclined for the 4.5 meter option for way less money. That works for me. Now let's see what we've got for planters here. Because I hadn't even, it slipped my mind that if we wanted to do corn, we're going to need a planter. Now some of these, I think I got rid of the one I didn't like. Now I do like cheaper. Cheaper's better in my book. I think I'm fine with this one. And we've got a small field. It's not like we're doing a 20 hectare field or anything. We've got a small field. I think this right here will be just fine. And in fact, on this tractor, we've got wide enough roads here. We can get this home. I think this thing will be fine. Yeah, you know, let's just go with that color. And the price is certainly right. We'll make this work. Seeds. However, we don't have any seeds at the farm. We use them all in the greenhouse. All right, I got us some seeds here for $900. We got some seeds. I'll want to, when I have a chance, I'm going to stock up on some seeds at the farm. But until that time, we've got seeds here. So, well, luckily, we don't have the loader with us. So we spent some money here, but we got stuff we need. So luckily, yeah, so we don't have the loader with us, so we can get all of this stuff home with us at once, easily. And here in Kalinovka, we have got plenty of room to get this home on these roads. Not like our last farm in Shpakovo, where this would have been a serious challenge. Would have had to really evaluate what roads we were going to take, but yeah, it's not a concern here. Very farmer-friendly roads here. Although still, there's a lot of traffic here, though. This place has a lot of traffic. Oh, this holds fertilizer as well. Oh, of course it does. It's got fertilizer tanks right in front of me. I don't know how I didn't see those. Yeah, literally right here, fertilizer tanks. Yeah, so we're going to want to stock up on that too. It's going to be a little more money because I kind of liked using the compost to fertilize stuff with, but here we're talking about field, you know, and not just a greenhouse. So yeah, we're going to have to buy some fertilizer. I've been working in the greenhouse for so long, I just completely forgot. So we're just going to fill this like this. I will come by later and grab these excess that we have here in these big bags, as well as some more, and take it to the farm to store. We've got storage for that at the farm. Now here, we're going to want to be a little careful on our way back, but there's plenty of road to get home with. Yeah, you know you're living in the country when you see this coming down the road. You guys know what I'm talking about. Yeah. It's that time of year when you see this rolling down the road. Actually, right now, where I live, we've got big dump trucks rolling down the road in convoys because they are harvesting the cornfields here. There's a big cornfield by my house, and they use the forage harvester on it. And so it's just convoy after convoy of dump trucks, you know, hauling out chaff from the cornfield. And it's a big field. I mean, it's a huge field. So it's like seriously, like it's like a week. it's like at least a week of just a steady convoy of dump trucks going down the road. But it's cool, you see that kind of thing, like this, for instance. You know what time of year it is. Like here, they're like, oh, it's planting season, right? Well, anyway, let's get this back to the farm. Well, that was uneventful. Went just fine. There was luckily, the roads here are plenty wide to accommodate a rig like this. So let's get out here, and we're going to want to, we're going to want to run the tedder on half of the field, I figure. I mean, half and half. Grass and hay are produced at the, the same amount of grass and hay goes into a bale, so there's no ratio discrepancy or whatever you call it on that. So we can just make half the grass or half the field hay, half the field grass, and it'll come out to the same amount of bales, is what I'm saying. Well, it's a beautiful day to ted grass. Or at least, I just noticed, as I said that, I noticed there's rain forecast. Well, the sky is clear, so it's probably not till later. So for right now, it is a beautiful day to ted grass. Figure we'll go, I'll go about halfway down the field with this. We can work on, then we'll just windrow the entire field. And let's see what else. Well, we could start planting. First thing we want to do before planting is, of course, remove those rocks. If we pull up the rocks now, we'll have less to worry about later. Otherwise, they'll just get, we'll just end up with more and bigger rocks if we don't do anything about it. Oh, I was going to take this all around the outside of the field, but I guess we're not doing it that way. I just want to do half the field. So I'll just head back the same way we came. Now, when you're making hay, you always want to, I know this may sound silly to say, but I've forgotten this myself. You always want to make sure that you ted before you windrow, because what we're doing now is we're flipping over the grass so that it can dry out in the sun. I've forgotten before and windrowed it and then came by with this, and of course this just scrambles it all over the field, and then so always do this before you windrow, of course. Once we get about half the field done with this, we can just windrow the entire field, and it'll be nice and neat. Half the windrows will be grass and half will be hay. Or really, about. I even thought about just doing, the part of the field on this side is hay and the part of the field on this side is grass. But that island of trees right there, it's not perfectly centered. But then again, it really doesn't matter. It doesn't have to be perfect. But I did think about that, and I thought, it might be easier if I just, use that as the dividing line. I guess it really doesn't matter. And even if we had to buy the grass and hay, it's not even that expensive. It's only, I don't know, it's like maybe $1,000 for a bale or something. But I like making everything from scratch and having that quality in our product, of course. And the moonshine that we sell from our distillery, not only are all the ingredients, made here on the farm, but even the fertilizer that, goes into the greenhouse that grows the strawberries was composted using the, grass produced by this farm as well. So our product is completely home crafted and green, and I like that kind of quality. Now I wonder where exactly, it looks like it's going to be a few more rows before I can really call this halfway, but it's going to be eyeballed, because here we're going to have to kind of turn around. It's going to be an eyeball thing. So this right here, this looks like, this is close enough to the halfway mark for me. This looks pretty good right here. I've been kind of turning around at this island here, this island of trees. So I'll just kind of turn around here. I'll kind of try to replicate this on the other side. And that will be, this will be our hay, and then it'll be our grass. We'll just windrow it all together, and it'll come out fine. Yeah, this is pretty good right here. This will be our last run down the field of the with the tedder. And we'll come by with, let's go ahead and get the windrower hooked up. This part is done. It's going to go a lot faster now because our windrower is, well, obviously it's it's a lot wider than this guy here. Make for much quicker runs down the field. I think the field's going to be a little heavy on the grass side. I think we'll have more grass than hay, but I don't think it's not going to matter, because just one bale, here's why it's not going to matter, because just one bale will be as much as our composter can handle. So really, as long as we get one bale of grass and one bale of hay, you know, period, out of the field, the composter's full. So it only matters that it's even remotely half and half, because one bale of each and the composter's full. It doesn't care. So let's get this out there and we'll get this all rowed up. I wanted to get to the cornfield, but before we get to corn planting, we're going to want to pull all the rocks up off that field. Now let's see, I got some grass out here in the cornfield. That happens, of course. Let's see if we can, well, we have some grass out here in what is to become the cornfield. I kind of got a bad angle to start out with that, so we'll just circle back around with this. There we go. We'll just bring it in from out there. There we go. Oh, come on, tractor. Well, there's a lot of work to do here in spring and summer. Winter was a little slow. However, this being a production-based farm, there was still work to do over the winter. But now that we're here in spring and summer, there's extra lots of work to do. This month, I'd like to get, of course, the rocks pulled up and corn planted over there in the field beside where we're working now, as well as finishing all of this. And no matter what we're doing on the farm, of course, we got to keep up with the production, which means keeping the, like we've been doing earlier in the episode, keeping the greenhouses stocked, keeping the stills stocked, and keeping the production rolling between them. So I will catch up with you guys on Friday with another episode where we're most likely still going to be in spring, because there's a lot of work to get done to ensure progress goes forward well into the summer months. Guys, thanks so much for following along today, working here on the farm. A lot to catch up on, you know, in the beginning of spring with the snow clear, stuff we could finally get to, like this grass. We simply couldn't see the grass for the, you know, the entire year until now. We couldn't even see it. So there was lots to get to today. Thanks a lot for joining me and following along. And thanks for your subscription, and any comments you have, feedback, leave down below. I will catch you guys on Friday for the next episode here in Shady Country Distillery. Thanks a lot, guys.